I would like to thank three people for sending me this story almost pretty much around the same time. Kevin Smith, Craig J, and Caressa McKnight for all sending me this story. As you all know, y'all should know who the palm-colored individual is in this picture. That is none other than Ed Buck. Now, the last time I talked about him was back in January when he pretty much did the same thing he did back in 2017. A black man who was a member of the LGBT community went to his house and they never made it out alive. Now, I remember how a lot of people in that community, especially those who were black and lived that lifestyle, said that heterosexual men, black men in particular, didn't care about what happened to them and everything like that. And I've had people who told me that myself and Tariq Nasheed were one of the first two people that actually reported on this even before they did. So it's kind of crazy how they, correlate this whole thing. And then, of course, I did that live stream last month where that person made that are dangerous to the LGBT community. As inflammatory as that statement was, it was very false, like extremely false, because Ed Buck at the end of the day is a white man, and I don't really see them going at them like that. I'm like, they're not going into a black man's house and ended up dead there. They're going to this white man's house and they're ending up dead there, and nothing has happened to them until now. Now, just because I have my issues with that community doesn't mean I won't talk about stories like this, because at the end of the day, it's a very dirty story because this guy is literally getting away with murder. And they're acting like it's just nothing there. And the only reason they're allowing him to float on by is because of his contributions to politics, usually on the monetary side. That's pretty much the only reason why they're continuing to allow him to skate on by. But this article just came out today from CBS News, where it says Democratic donor Ed Buck accused of human trafficking and revenge porn after man dies in his home. Now, the reason why I have the picture of this guy right here, who was the one who was found dead in his home back in 2017, is because this is the one that's more of the focus right now, because his mother has now gotten involved and they're now going forward with a lawsuit against him. The article reads, prominent political activist Ed Buck is facing new legal troubles as the mother of a man who died in his home has filed an amended civil suit accusing Buck of human trafficking and engaging in revenge porn. The new amendment is about making sure no box is left unchecked when it comes to all the crimes that Ed Buck has committed. Jasmine Kennick, an advocate for the family of 26-year-old Jamel Moore, who was found dead of a drug overdose in Buck's home in 2017. After the district attorney's office declined to file criminal charges citing insufficient evidence, a wrongful death civil lawsuit was filed. Now, attorneys for Moore's mother have filed an amendment to that lawsuit. It accuses Buck of human trafficking and engaging in revenge porn by making and sharing a video of his alleged meth-fueled sexual encounters with Moore. Information we received from other victims of Ed Buck that Ed Buck loves to take pictures of these young men, loves to take videos of them in their inebriated state. The amended complaint alleges that Buck regularly solicits sex from black men in exchange for temporary housing and or monetary compensation. Jamel Moore at the time was 26 years old, and Ed Buck flew him here from Texas. And within 24 hours, he died of a crystal meth overdose. Attorneys for Buck said in a statement that they plan on fighting those allegations vigorously in court. In January of this year, a second man died in Buck's apartment. Authorities ruled 55-year-old Timothy Dean died of an accidental meth overdose. So you can see it's the same exact context as this one right here. Buck has contributed to various California races and causes. He made headlines in September 2010 when he disrupted a campaign event for then California Republican Party gubernatorial candidate Meg Whitman. He was confronted by former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. And that last statement right there is why he continues to get on by and continues to get away with what he does. But all I'm going to say is this. To the black people who are a part of that community, why did they keep going to him? Because I remember there was another video that came out. It was a news piece. I wish I had reported on it then or spoke on it then, where this guy who was reporting, this was at the height of the second incident that happened in January, where Ed Buck was walking with an unknown black man and they blurred his face out of the camera. And reporter was like, do you know who this guy is? Do you know who he's capable of? And he pretty much stopped Ed Buck's mission right there. Ed Buck almost had a third victim, as far as we know, because it could be more than two. But as far as we know, he almost had a third victim. I will never forget watching that news clip. I'm just mad that I did not speak on it when I first saw it. But the guy is dangerous. He is a menace. And the fact that he continues to walk around like nothing happens, and then they try to sweep it under the rug, is very telling. But because of his position and what he's able to do and the power that he has, that is exactly why he's able to continue getting away with it. And they say he's a Democratic donor, and he lives in California, which is labeled the most liberal state. So when you put all of that together, it doesn't surprise me. And then I think in California, they are very LGBT leaning out there. So who knows, like, what other kind of stuff they have going on out there. Like, and you know, Hollywood's out there, Holly weird, as we call it. So you got that casting couch. That's what this almost looks like, but on a more dangerous scale. But these guys basically went out there, you know, it says for monetary gain and to, you know, have housing. So it almost sounds like he was pimping these guys, you know, like they were prostitutes. That's almost basically what it was. But he didn't put them on a corner or out on the street. They just came to his house and they ended up dead by dawn. But, you know, I hope they are, you know, are successful with this, but it's going to be a long battle. It's going to be a hard one too, because this guy has a lot of power and influence, especially since he's connected to a political party that could probably help him get out of this. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.